everybody, welcome to Monday Morning Must Knows. My name is Merlin Ralph, and what a week we had last week. Now, I expected there to be some volatility near the tail end of the week, but boy, all during the middle of that week. Tremendous volatility, mostly to the downside for our broad market indexes and crypto as well. So we'll see if this upcoming trading week has anything to offer us, and it does, let me tell you. But first, let's talk about that unemployment number that came out on Friday. Expectations were we're coming out at 4.2. Dropped down to 4.1, and we saw a significant increase in non-farm employment change, which was completely the opposite of what markets expected. So surprises abound, and it just goes to show you, you should never hang your hat on what market expects. Expect what the reality is giving you. That's what you really got to pay attention to. All right, let's jump into the week ahead, which of course starts with earnings. Now, it's going to be a real quiet week up until Wednesday. So let's dive into our earnings calendar right now and figure out what on earth is going on. Only 73 companies. And many of you are probably thinking, Merlin, why are you even talking about this? Well, Monday and Tuesday are very quiet. Then we kick things off with the beginning of earnings season on Wednesday with JP Morgan, Citibank, BlackRock, Charles Schwab, and Rio Tinto. Keep in mind those first four there are all financials, which took a beating on Friday's session, over 2% slide, and we'll see if that continues. Rio Tinto as well on Wednesday, and then a bulk of big names. A full screen here for you. Taiwan Semiconductor, United Health Group, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, PNC Financial, US Bancorp, and JB Hunt Transportation. And not to be outdone, Friday fighting back with some big names as well with Schlumberger, Fastenal, State Street, and Huntington Bank Shares, which is one of those companies, one of those banking stocks that I was concerned about the commercial real estate lending falling apart given what's been going on with commercial real estate and the quick abrupt change in rates. We'll see if their financials show anything bad there. Now, last week was all about the employment data on Friday with 5 big pieces of employment data coming out for the week. This week, it's about inflation, and of course, with President Trump taking office here soon and promising massive tariffs for Canada and Mexico, and well, you just point the finger at any country and he'll just say, I'm going to give you a tariff and you're a tariff. He's like Oprah Winfrey, who goes, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Trump's giving everyone tariffs, and we'll see if that lasts into the early part of his campaign. I personally think it's just posturing for now, and he'll tone it down. Either way, it has a lot of the markets concerned about potential increases in inflation. And of course, right now, the Fed is cutting those rates aggressively. That may also start to bring back inflation. So let's start off with our inflation data for the week. It starts off on Tuesday with the producer price index. Now, this is backwards. Normally, we start with the consumer price index, but we'll start with PPI. That's going to be Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, and you can see in the hard red edge, the most recent reading was 0.4, which is a pretty significant jump up. And that had a lot of people worried. The reality is now, or the expectation at least, is we're going to see this drop from 0.4 on PPI to 0.3. And then right after that on Wednesday, same time, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, we have the consumer price index numbers coming out. And you can see that also took a slight step up at the previous month's reading. Right now it's at 0.3%, which of course gives you an analyzed 3.6% inflation rate. Expectations are right now that is going to drop down to 0.2. So keep your eyes open on those. Definitely those will be creating some waves in our financial markets on Tuesday and on Wednesday's trading session. Now we'll calm things down a little bit. We're not at really a heightened season for retail sales numbers, but of course consumption does drive our economy, and retail sales is a good barometer of how our markets are performing. So we round things out with a Thursday announcement about retail sales. 8:30 a.m. Eastern time is when this one comes out. You can see here, all is looking pretty decent. We're seeing over the past 4 months, increase, and currently sitting at 0.7. Now, the expectations are not as good. The forecast right now is that we're going to see that number decline just a little bit, falling from 0.7, which you can see on your screen there, to 0.6. So not a big change. Of course, continuing to see this move up would be a very positive sign for our markets. Who knows what's going to happen, but at least we know that that data will be coming out on Thursday at 8:30 a.m. So you've got a nice inflation announcement on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, and a retail sales number coming out on Thursday. Probably the biggest day is going to be Wednesday with those big banking stocks kicking off the earnings season. I hope you guys have a fantastic trading week. We will see you next week for Monday Morning Must Knows.